Hi everyone, this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets. This is the Realme 7 Pro box. This is the actual phone itself. I'm going to do my review. I'm going to show you the camera samples straight away. In the box, you get a USB cable to plug into this brick, which is USB-A to USB-C. This is 65 watts. This thing charges like a bullet, but more on that later. Get a nice little case to go with it as well. But let's go check these samples out. Any questions, don't forget, I'll answer them down below. And let's go check this out now. Boom. So here we have the Realme 7 Pro, and I'm just going to run through some of the features. As you can see, even with the camera in front, the face unlock works really well. I will show you now that it does have the under screen sensor, and again that works pretty good too. So this phone here is a lovely AMOLED panel. It features, it's 6.4 inches with a 180 Hz sampling rate. It is only actually a 60 Hz screen. It does go fairly bright as well. 60 nits is its maximum brightness. It's 1080p, in case you're wondering. You can see the cameras here. So let's talk about the cameras. With the cameras here, you've got the main sensor is a Sony IMX682. It's 64 megapixels. It does the usual quad Bayer, so 4-in-1 pixel binning. You've got an 8 megapixel 119 degree ultra wide, a macro lens at 2 megapixels, and a portrait lens that's also 2 megapixels. You're not going to get much quality with the 2 megapixel sensors, but they are on there, and occasionally you might want to use them. When it does pixel bin from the main sensor, you do get a rather decent 1.6 pixel size as the end result. As you can see from the bottom, we have a actual headphone jack, and we also have a USB-C connection there. And the relevance of that is that with the USB-C, Realme provide their own 65 watts charging brick, and this thing is an absolute beast when it comes to charging. Because the battery lasts really long because of the 720G Snapdragon processor, I'm roughly only needing 20 minutes before I go to bed to charge it back to 100%, and that's when I charge it, just 20 minutes a day. If you were able to take this down in well, you probably get 2 days battery life on this, but I would say to you, they claim that it can recharge from 0 to 100% in just 34 minutes. I've got about 38 minutes. I did test it a couple of times and it was about 38 minutes. But literally, you can make a cup of tea. The time you've boiled the kettle, made your tea, put the milk in, and it'll charge. It just jumps so much, and it's such a game changer having this fast charging. So, camera. I've obviously started off by showing you the camera samples, and I've got to say the camera is excellent, but I will show you some of the modes that we have on here. So you've got night mode, video, portrait, 64 megapixel mode. In the more section, we have fun movie mode, slow motion, pro expert, pano, ultra macro, Google lens. And it's very versatile, and there's some additional settings, timer. You can adjust the frame size as well, like so. And you've got the settings here. So on the settings, just running through, you can use the volume button, and you can change that to do the shutter, zoom, or just actually do the volume only. You can do the location. You can, when you're on selfie mode, you can flip the selfie, touch to take photo, grid lines, portrait, distortion correction, watermark, and you can change the video resolutions, but you do need to be in video to actually access these settings. So when we're in video, you'll notice there's some options here from anti-shake. Here you can actually have bokeh effects here as well, and you've got filters for that one. And here you can have ultra night mode video. I mean, you know, it's extremely versatile. It really is. The video resolution, it goes up to 4K. So if you're in 4K, you can only do 30 frames per second, and you can do 60 frames per second, but not on the ultra wide. But again, you've got to remember this price of this phone. The full retail price is £279. And you can also change the to H.265. I tend to use H.264, so I don't get any issues with compatibility with other software I'm using. You've got a pro night mode as well. You can tell it you're on a tripod. You can do hit here to do the starry mode for the stars. Again, just a very, very versatile camera with lots and lots of options. In terms of speed and how it looks, you can see whilst this is 60 Hz, it feels quite smooth. I'll explain why, because in the display, you've obviously got auto brightness, dark mode, eye comfort, always on display. You can change the color screen. You have the screen display. There is something called motion smoothing. I haven't quite got where it is. You've got NFC, so just to show you that, this is the UK version. It does have NFC, and that works really well. I've been able to purchase loads of things using Google Pay on this. So you can alter some of the notification aspects as well, put the battery icon, which I've done, the speed of the network, just a lot of options. You've got fingerprint, face unlock, and other options here. Convenience tools, so you can use the Google Assistant button on the power button. You've got a smart sidebar, which is here, and you can add and change things on that. I actually quite like that. On gestures and motions, you've got everything from screen off, gesture screenshot, raise to wake, auto ear pickup calls, auto switched ear receiver, flip to mute incoming calls, and very, very handy indeed. You've got some battery options as well. There's other things here from App Cloner, Game Space, where you can adjust notifications and what happens when you play games. Split screen, how you can do that. Realme Lab. So this was what I was talking about. So even though this is a 60 Hz the screen, it does have called smooth scrolling, and you've got super nighttime standby. So it literally kills all background, really means you lose hardly anything. This loses about 2% overnight, which is pretty impressive. I don't see the point in having that on because 2% is excellent, and it's so fast to recharge. But as you can see, despite everything, I think it's fairly smooth despite everything. You have all your shade icons, and it's a very neat skin. This is not, this is the default launcher. So it's very good. Let's just do a test on that on the loudspeaker. So we're going to pick a royalty-free bit of music. So even though it's mono, I'll just put this in front of the mic. It's pretty loud for a mono firing speaker. I'm pretty happy with that. All in all, this is an absolute lovely phone. Good camera for its price point. I've taken some excellent shots, as you've seen. Very impressive shots, actually. And I would easily recommend this phone. To family and friends. And this is my first Realme device, and very impressed. I'd also like to thank Realme for sending this across. They'd seen the other reviews and some of the other budget devices I'd recently done, and they asked if I'd be interested in looking at this. So they're looking at this video at the same time that you are. They've had no input into what I say or don't say. This is a fab phone, and I'll be interested to see what improvements they make as this gets updated over time. Anyway, this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Bye for now.